of all, can you talk about having Josh Gordon back in practice and how fun it is to throw to a guy?
Yeah, no, more than anything, just having a really, really good player back. I've been getting to know Josh a little bit throughout this year, just kind of seeing him around and a little bit outside the building. But, I think it's nice to have him back around. He brings a lot of energy. He's obviously very excited to be back and very hungry to be playing. So, that brings a little bit of a spark. It's nice to see him back out there.
Even if he's not getting the ball, what can his presence do for an offense?
Well, you look at his stats from last year and what he did in defenses, I think just his presence there and what he did then and what he brings to the table for his offenses. He's a lot bigger receiver than we have a lot of the other guys, which doesn't really matter a ton about the size of our guys. I feel like they play with a ton of heart. But Josh is a big body guy who's a playmaker, and it's very good to have him back for sure.
Do you feel fortunate that in training camp, since he was working with, at times second team, third team, you seemed like you got a lot of time with him?
Yeah, I did get more time with him than you figured you would. Your guy coming off the Pro Bowl season and a rookie quarterback coming in, but obviously him not being around a ton, having got to work with him as much as you would like, but still through training camp, got some reps and got some opportunities to throw to him, which was nice.
And did it remind you in some ways, and how helpful is it? You had Mike Evans all those years, so does it remind you of a guy like that just can kind of light it up?
Sure. You look at their size and kind of their build and the way they have speed, but yet at the same time they're long and tall receivers. It's nice to have a little bit of a security blanket out there.
What's your vision of this offense when it has Gordon and Cameron in it?
I think you look at what the Browns, you go back right now, since they're not on the field yet, we haven't played a game, but it's kind of back to what they look like on paper, going back before the draft, and what kind of I was looking at a Cleveland Browns team before I was even here. So I think it's very, very dangerous looking offense on paper. Now we just need to go out and continue to execute, continue to get better as an offense, and then put that into real life form.
You met Ryan this week?
I'm doing scout team still trying to emulate that.
Tell us about Ryan. You studied him so you can be him. What is it?
Yeah, sure. No, I think Matt Ryan is a great leader for that team. I think he's a very, very talented guy. And since the day when he's out in the league, I think he's done a lot of great things down there in Atlanta. And I think obviously they've struggled a little bit throughout this year, but at the same time, any team can make a push towards the end of this year to try and get in. So I think their offense and with him at the helm are just as dangerous as they have been in the past.
I think most people who were watching the game this past Sunday thought you were going to be put in there in the fourth quarter when Brian took that shot from Cushing. Did you think that was going to be it for you?
No, I definitely thought it was a possibility I was going to be out there on the field. And I think Brian showed a great display of toughness out there. He took a lot of shots in that game and stayed in. And for me, that's what my job is. And you never know when that could happen, never know what could happen moving forward. Need to be ready. So, I was very prepared to go in, and if I was needed, then I was ready to go.
So what's the first thing that goes through your head?
I need to go in the game. I'm going to go find my helmet.
What's the second thing?
I need to take this earpiece out. Second thing is, just go out. I obviously, Coach Shanahan, Coach Pettin, and those guys know the situation, whatever that situation would have been in. So I trust those guys to put the offense in the best situation to continue to move the ball regardless of who's back there.
How much do you guys still work on the elements of the Johnny package during the week?
I don't think we do it near as much as we did earlier in the season, but at the same time I still get reps with the ones a numbered amount throughout the week, and it's still good for me to get in there and those guys hear me call plays in the huddle, my snap count, cadence, trying to get as close to Brian's. And still at the same time I'm back there trying to recreate what Brian's doing and try and learn from him as best I can. So I feel like the weeks are going by really well when the times I do get reps with the ones.
What's your take on the running back situation now? Does it change a little bit? What are these rookie running backs?
Yeah, you look at these two rookie guys that we have, and obviously this is their first time going through a full season, and obviously not everything has been smooth sledding. We've had some bumps here and there, and I think those guys now coming back this week have been extremely hungry and have looked really fired up in practice to be not a lot of, indecision on whatever the reps were or whatever was really going on. Obviously, in the quarterback room, we're not directly involved in that. But at the same time, you see a hunger from those two guys and wanting to come out and perform.
We talked when you guys played the Bucs about seeing Mike Evans again. Well, this week, Jake, what's your relationship
like?
Sure.
I can't tell you guys what it means to me to see guys that I feel like I've been with for a long time now and watch them go on and do great things, get drafted in the first round. You look at playing against Luke, obviously, in Jacksonville, you get Mike in Tampa, and then getting to play Jake in Atlanta, getting to play everybody really, but but Vaughn in Denver. So I mean, it's great getting to see old friends and old teammates, and I mean, they're all performing very, very well. So I'm very proud of those guys.
Thanks, John.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.